There's a strange truth we rarely speak aloud. People respect the villain more than the hero. They talk about the hero, maybe even cheer for them. But deep down, they admire the villain. The calm, calculated mastermind. The one who breaks the rules and doesn't apologize. The one who knows what they want and doesn't flinch to take it. They don't wait for permission. They command the room. They command the world. Society says it loves kindness, but it rewards dominance. It claims to cherish goodness, yet it kneels for power. This story is not about good versus evil. It's about why the world quietly bows to the bold, the ruthless, and the relentless, and often forgets the ones who tried to play fair. Welcome to the paradox. The villain is often just the hero with boundaries, with clarity, with fire. This is the story of society's double standard. And understanding this is not about becoming evil. It's about reclaiming your strength. We grow up being told to be good, to be kind, to be fair. But the nice guy often ends up ignored, used, or forgotten. Why? Because niceness is not respected when it lacks strength. People see nice as soft, not strong. Pleasing, not powerful. And in a world that respects power, the nice guy becomes a ghost. He helps everyone but himself. He sacrifices his dreams to avoid conflict. He hides his anger, buries his desire, and wonders why no one listens. And perhaps the cruelest part? When he finally asks for something in return, people recoil. Because he taught them that he doesn't need anything. That he doesn't have edges. That he doesn't matter. The villain doesn't do this. The villain says no. The villain speaks up. The villain doesn't flinch. In truth, the world doesn't reject goodness. It rejects weakness disguised as goodness. Kindness without backbone becomes servitude. And the nice guy, he becomes invisible. But visibility is power. If no one sees you, no one listens. If no one listens, you don't exist. So the nice guy fades, while the villain, unafraid to be seen, becomes unforgettable. The paradox is this. You don't earn respect by avoiding conflict. You earn it by standing for something, even if it means standing alone. Think about every iconic villain. They have a vision, a mission. They don't wander. They don't beg. They move. They command. They act. Clarity is magnetic. Power is persuasive. Even if you hate their methods, you can't deny their confidence. Heroes too often hesitate. They question. They compromise. They weigh every choice with guilt, fear, and doubt. Villains, they declare, they decide, and the world listens. It's not that they're evil. It's that they refuse to be invisible. Ambiguity repels. Decisiveness attracts. A man who knows what he wants, even if you disagree with it, is more respected than a man who has no direction. The villain doesn't just know what they want, they know they deserve it. And that energy, the belief in their right to take up space, to lead, to exist fully, is powerful. You don't have to destroy worlds to be like them. But you do have to stop apologizing for wanting more, want more, and then move like someone who deserves it. Society praises humility, but rewards arrogance. It teaches obedience, then promotes the bold. It punishes selfishness, but secretly envies it. Look around. We tell children to share, to compromise, to wait their turn. And then we grow up and admire billionaires who never waited, never asked, never bowed. We elevate the underdog in stories, but in real life, we follow the loudest voice. This is the double standard that twists our souls. We're taught to be small, and then criticized for not being big enough. When a man speaks with certainty, he's called a leader. When he doubts, he's labeled weak. The hero sacrifices. The villain survives. And survival often inspires more respect than sacrifice. Because people fear weakness. And the hero often bleeds, cracks, breaks. The villain, on the other hand, becomes legend. Not because they were good, but because they were undeniable. Villains don't try to be liked. They try to be remembered. They don't ask, "Is this okay?" They ask, "Does this work for me?" The world doesn't respect people who are desperate to be liked. It respects people who set terms. Being liked is a currency with a short shelf life. Being respected lasts longer. We all know that person who's charming, agreeable, easy to be around. And yet, when they speak, no one listens. Not because they lack intelligence, but because they lack fire. Power is not about domination, it's about influence. Villains understand this. They build personas so strong they can't be ignored. They use presence like a weapon. They own their space. They walk like the room belongs to them. And that energy, it commands attention. It invites admiration. Not everyone will like you. But if you live to be liked, you will never be free. So stop asking for permission. Build presence. Define your voice. Because if you don't shape how the world sees you, it will erase you. Heroes carry the weight of the world. They doubt themselves. They blame themselves. They try to fix everything. And when they fail, the world forgets. The villain fails loudly. The hero fails quietly. The villain leaves a mark. The hero leaves a whisper. The tragedy isn't that villains are more respected. It's that heroes are often invisible until they're gone. Self-sacrifice is noble. But nobility doesn't always leave a legacy. Visibility does. The world doesn't follow silent saints. It follows those who speak, those who shine, those who dare to disturb the peace. If you're always solving everyone else's problems while shrinking your own light, you're not a hero, you're a martyr. And martyrdom without recognition is extinction. The true hero does not just help. The true hero leads, speaks, risks. Because the world only remembers those who rise above the noise. But there is another way. A hero can have fire. A hero can have boundaries. A hero can say no. A hero who knows their worth doesn't beg for approval. A hero with backbone becomes unforgettable. You don't have to choose between being good and being strong. You can be both. Be kind, but with edge. Be humble, but with vision. Be generous, but not at the expense of your self-respect. Because the world doesn't need more people trying to fit in. It needs people who can stand alone. People who radiate without seeking attention. People who know who they are and live like it. You can be the hero who doesn't apologize for being loud, seen, powerful. You can rewrite what it means to be good, and redefine what it means to lead. A new hero archetype is rising, not the silent savior, but the powerful presence with a moral spine. Be that. The world respects villains more than heroes, not because villains are evil, but because they are clear, relentless, unapologetic. Power is magnetic. Clarity is rare. And the courage to be disliked is a superpower. So the question is not, should you be a hero or a villain? The question is, can you be good and still be strong? Can you stand your ground, speak your truth, and live with fire without losing your soul? Because that's what the world truly needs. Not more nice guys, but more good people who refuse to be walked on. Be kind, but don't be soft. Be humble, but don't be silent. Be the hero who doesn't need to be saved. Be the storm. Be the standard.